What's going on, people? It's Tay Williams reporting live from Toronto, Ontario. I have Francis right here from Reebok, and I have Sebastian right here from Reebok. We're going to give an input on what's going on between the Toronto Raptors situation. First question I'm going to ask you, Francis, how do you feel about the Dwayne Casey situation going on?
Well, it's been how many years we've been in the playoffs? I mean, the come up for him was pretty good. Like, when he started off with the Raptors, they weren't really that good. They pushed him in the playoffs. They had that big push 2 years ago. But now you have all this talent, and you're only getting to the second round. Mind you, it's obviously it's not to blame that they face the Cavs in the second round. But at the same time, your motto is defense. Mm-hmm. Your motto is rebounding. But you have one of the worst rebounding efficiencies in the league. Right. You're 25th in defense. So if your motto is defense and you're one of the worst defensive teams, there has to be change. Whether it's the system you play in, because iso ball is not working for the Raptors. We're just getting by this far, which is pure talent. But if we ran offenses, if we ran plays for specific people, it makes a big difference when you're passing the ball a lot more than rather than having just DeRozan in the corner getting ready for a three or getting ready for a post up against any other team. Obviously, because all the three guards now 6'8", 6'7", no problem, can guard Debo. He's money from the mid-range. Mm-hmm. So it's really easy for him to get to score. But when you're facing guys who are LeBron James, all those guys, it's going to be a tough night for him. And if we're just relying on him, he can't carry the team if he's getting shut down.
Okay. How you feel about Kyle Lowry, Sebastian?
Honestly, Kyle Lowry, he's surprised me nonetheless the past 2 years with what he's done for the team. And going with saying that, I still think you would need him to do more if you want him to stay. A guy like DeMar DeRozan, he puts up 30 points a game, especially in the first 3-4 months. But that's not going to cut it when you get down the road, obviously, in April, May, June. You need a guy also like DeMar DeRozan that can put up 30 points when he can. That's why one of the main reasons I feel like the Raptors are going to lose Dwayne Casey is because their lack of another star player that can... but I don't really see Kyle Lowry as the guy that can jump over DeRozan and do what DeRozan can do and more. Yeah. You know what I mean? When they had Rudy Gay, that was the guy I expected to do it 5 years ago. Yeah. I mean, obviously Rudy's out of his prime. Right. You're going to look for a guy like Jimmy Butler, Paul George. You're probably not going to get him, but even a guy like that will go a long way.
So the next question is, since Kyle Lowry will be a free agent, what free agents, other point guards, would you rather see them pick up in the offseason?
Oh, we went through this so many times. Oh my God.
What's your favorite, Sebastian? What's your favorite, Francis?
He brought up Chris Paul one day, and I felt like I've stuck on that. Mm-hmm. Seeing him in Toronto, it would be kind of crazy, to say the least. But I mean, I think for not even just the Raptors, a team like the Spurs would need a guy like Chris Paul. He's a key free agent if you lose Kyle Lowry for sure.
A couple years ago, I saw this tweet that Brandon Jennings said about him and DeRozan being really good boys. Obviously,
he's come to Toronto a few times.
Obviously, he's come to Toronto out of his way, And it's obviously that kind of chemistry you want with the 1 and 2 guard, because that's what Steph and Clay had. Right. That's what Kyrie and LeBron had. That's what There's so many teams where the 1-2 hitters, Wall, Beal, all those guys, they have chemistry. And yes, Brandon Jennings is out of his prime. Yes, he's not the same guy who scored 50 in his first rookie year. But when you have that kind of an explosive player who knows how to get buckets, along with someone who just knows how to get buckets from the mid-range, you're going to have a lot more options rather than just having Lowry pull up after dribbling up halfway up the court just to shoot it.
And in the series against the Celtics in the semifinals, Brandon Jennings coming off the bench, he didn't play bad. He played good defensively. He put up points when he needed to. Obviously, it wasn't breakout points, but he did his role.
So just one more question. This is going to be the last question. I always thought when the Raptors picked up Serge Ibaka, I thought that was a immediate disrespect to Valanciunas, because I feel like you was fighting time between the two guys that played totally the same position. I thought you get more from Valanciunas than you did Serge Ibaka.
Well, for me, it's I was a really big fan of Valanciunas when he came into the league. I think a guy that big, a guy who has that kind of inside power. But it's not good for today's leagues. Today's leagues, you have a lot of 6'8", 6'9" power forwards and 6'10", 6'11" shutters. With him being 7 feet, can't catch the ball, always too slow, always slow up the court, it's going to be really hard for him to transition into the new NBA. Right. Unless he obviously sheds some weight or gets faster or just learns how to play outside of that, that restricted area. Because all of his shots are just either pickups from misses, or when he gets it, Kyle Lowry just dishes to him when he's driving. it's really hard for Valanciunas to say to develop his own game and be the main player to be able to push through him or play through him because of the way he plays.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. You already have a guy like Dwight Howard saying he wants to work on his three this summer. So I mean, that's just getting into the whole today's league.
Right.
Personally, I feel the opposite. I feel like Ibaka complements Valanciunas to the degree where he could be a role player and at the same time he could start and take over what Valanciunas does, and he's also a good three-point shooter, so
All right.
it benefits.
All right, folks, there you have it. We live from Toronto, Canada. We have Francis right here. We have Sebastian right here. So follow me on my YouTube channel at TaeWiggs _TAE_WIGGS. I keep up with the latest scores and stats and news injuries around these playoffs and throughout the whole NBA. So appreciate it.
Yeah.